Hey, it's the K-Man and I'm your captain for this flight around Australia, where we're going to start off at the most isolated city in the world, Perth. If you look out your windows, directly below, just a little bit to your left, is the new renovations that have been happening to the stadium. It was deemed a little bit too tall, so they've gone and flattened it. And just ahead of you is the beautiful central business district of Perth, which if you think it looks fine out here, just wait till you get closer and see the beautiful SimCity-esque buildings that have been put all through this city. If this is your first visit to the beautiful city of Perth, please do not be alarmed that none of the discernible landmarks that you might have seen in a postcard or pamphlet are actually visible here, but please do enjoy the wonderful reflection of the generic buildings on the water. Our next destination is Adelaide in South Australia, a beautiful, very green city where they've decided to keep the height of their football stadium kind of about the same. The area, as I said, is very well and greened up, and the buildings, as you might be pleased to see, are wonderful SimCity-esque generic ones as well. Let's just have one more look at that beautiful stadium here in Adelaide and observe the wonderful feature and new addition that they have gone and made the seating fully enclosed, so no more worries about the elements. Our third destination is Darwin, the capital of the Northern Territory, which is about all my information I have on this particular city. It's a rather small city, and it also has generic buildings, and it looks pretty nice. And you can see what looks like Papua New Guinea from the other side. No, that is not Papua New Guinea. You may also be pleased to know that Darwin too has an airport, which really made it real easy to get out here, hey? Our next destination is sunny Brisbane in Queensland. Your climate is clear and sunny, partly due to Queensland being the sunshine state, but also kind of more so because you can go change the in-game settings, so it would be so. Either way, it's just a place to dream about being, which you don't have to, because here we are right now flying through Brisbane, which is once again littered with lots of generic looking buildings that kind of make it really hard to work out where in Brisbane you are actually flying. Up ahead you may observe that we do like to keep our wharfs and jetties submerged here in Brisbane. This isn't unusual. We've sort of just decided that with all the floods that we get up here, we might as well embrace it. Next stop is the popular holidaying destination just south of Brisbane, the Gold Coast, where we're right now flying off to Surfers Paradise with epic, ginormous skyscraper trees. Why would you not want to go and visit the Gold Coast? As well as that botanical bizarreness, we have gone and redeveloped all of our buildings since the last Commonwealth Games to have a bit more of a common generic look as well, though maybe not as much as some of the other cities that we have previously visited. You might see a little bit of character in these ones, just possibly not the same that you remember. Time to head way down south to Tasmania, the island state of Australia, for some wonderful, beautiful views and a bridge that has been recently converted into a rather ineffective dam. Yes, just look at those wonderful views of the beautiful area that Hobart is situated in the wonderful Apple Isle of Heading north across the Bass Strait is the city of Melbourne in Victoria, which has recently had the addition of a 212-storey building known as the Obelisk. The word is that this building was constructed solely by a university student during an assignment, and it is advised that you go visit this structure before the renovators of this world go and find out. As we approach Melbourne, everything's looking pretty fine and dandy from all out here. Which is, of course, until you go and find out that the renovators have been a little bit overzealous in this city as well. There is supposedly a stadium right there, and there kind of is still, just a little bit different too, as you might remember it. The next destination in our tour of Melbourne is the Flinders Street train station, which may not seem much of a destination for a plane, but they have gone and flattened it down so that we can land if needed. I think instead of landing down there, we might go and head instead to the MCG, which you may be a little bit disappointed. It has recently had renovations and is now a massive apartment block arranged in a wonderful donut shape, just to remind us all of the fun that we used to have there. Now off to Sydney in New South Wales. We're going to go straight to the Sydney Opera House, looking beautifully stunning as usual, this wonderful bit of architecture, handcrafted. Although you may be missing out on the bridge, it has been replaced by something a little bit more easier to maintain. But let's go and swing around and have another look at the beautiful Sydney Opera House and the skyline of Sydney, which also has had a few changes too, most notably the pointy Centrepoint Tower. And just because it looks so good, let's have another fly over the Sydney Opera House, off to the Sydney Harbour Bridge right in front of us there. Yes, you may not recognise it, but let's do another fly over just one more time. There's the beautiful Sydney Opera House, and of course if we keep turning around, there is the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and right behind it, Luna Park, right there on the shore there. It's had a bit of a renovation as well. Our last destination is the capital city of Australia, Canberra, which thanks to some funky technology called photogrammetry, or tree, I don't know, I'm just some, fake aeroplane captain, what would I know? Just about every detail is on point, except for a few small details. It's really amazing just to be able to fly through a city that looks pretty much exactly how it's supposed to, although it does appear the trees have been let to grow a bit more than they would normally. All of it, I'm sure, is to embrace Canberra's identity as the bush capital. Another landmark is the communication tower on top of Black Mountain, which is often used to navigate all around the wonderful city of Canberra, and very welcoming to see it in here. Up ahead to your left is the National Museum with a bit of a squishy looking sculpture there. And up ahead now is the National Library. We are now heading down Anzac Parade towards the Australian War Memorial, with Mount Taylor in the background. Heading in the opposite direction, now we can see Questacon on the right. We also have the National Portrait Gallery and the High Court of Australia. Up right ahead is Old Parliament House. And up behind Old Parliament House, you can see embedded into the mountain there the current seat of government, Parliament House. And that concludes our flight around Canberra and Australia in a all too small but really enjoyable aeroplane. And I think I can break out of character now. I'm just going to leave you with a beautiful scene of Canberra at dusk. Oh man, this game really draws you in. I really didn't think it would, though it did. We flew all around Australia. I hope you enjoyed the flight, and thank you so much for watching.